Hey guys, YouTuber100 here, and here I am with another Chucky movie review. Now here's my review of Child's Play 3. Oh man. I said that the second one, wasn't really good. It was kind of like, nah. This one was, bad. Yeah, this one was terrible. Yeah, I mean, oh man. This was just bad, just because they did, the way they set this movie up, there were some things that they did for this movie that just did not make it work, or at least did not make it not work the way a lot of people wanted it to. I mean, yeah, there's just of like, yeah, I mean, there's just yeah, a lot of things are just really wrong with the movie that really just does not make it work out. So yeah, I'll just go through those real quickly. Yeah. So yeah, this movie was released only a year after the second movie, and yet this takes place 8 years after. So yeah, I mean, because of that, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that really just doesn't is totally unanswered. Answered, but in that 8 year span, just it's a that's a long gap in between the when the movies take place or when they're set. And yeah, I mean, yeah, there was just a bunch of stuff that went unanswered. Like, what really happened with Andy after the second movie? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't it's explained a little. They talk a little bit about what happened. Like, Andy was put in a bunch of other foster homes because yeah, I mean, just none of them really worked for him. But really, I mean, that's the only explanation we really get. I mean, we really don't see why he didn't fit with them, how he really got to them. Because I mean, if you remember in the second movie, the foster care manager was killed by Chucky. So I mean, how was he really put in other foster homes? Yeah. And another thing, what happened with Kyle after Chucky? I mean, what happened to her? I mean, yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no mention of her whatsoever in this movie. It's as if she, Andy didn't even leave with her at the end of the second movie. It's she's just absolutely gone. I mean, no mention of her at all. And yeah, just it's not really explained what happens to her at all. I mean, in the second movie, it was explained that Andy's mom was taken away to a mental hospital. But yeah, there was absolutely no mention of what happened with Kyle after. I mean, was she just taken away from Andy and she was put in a foster home away from him? I mean, yeah, just that stuff was never explained. Whatever happened with Kyle. Yeah. Yeah, and I really feel if they would have waited longer to make this movie, if they actually would have waited the 8 years and make this movie in 1998, and yeah, I mean, I think it would have really made a lot more sense to go for that. I mean, they could have actually brought back Alex Vincent to play Andy for this movie. Yeah, but yeah, instead they cast a new actor to play Andy, who was Justin Whalen. And yeah, so yeah, it's just yeah, it was a totally different actor playing Andy. So yeah, I mean, really the only cast member returning was Brad Dourif to voice Chucky. I mean, yeah, he's the only cast member to come back for this movie. Yeah, I mean, Andy is also another character that comes back, but yeah, like I said, he's played by a new person in this movie. Yeah, and yeah, and I think this was really where the movies really started really taking a turn from being scary to just silly and goofy. Because yeah, I mean, the stuff that happens in this movie, it's not really scary at all, really. I mean, it's it just kind of makes you watch it and just kind of roll your eyes at it maybe. But yeah, it's nothing really scary about it at all. Oh, and yeah, and I really think this was when the movies really started taking the turn they went with the other movies afterwards. Yeah, and yeah, this one is kind of like the plot is, well, yeah, it's kind of a different it's kind of like the same plot to it, but like it's a different kind of story. Like yeah, because yeah, in this one, like Chucky tries to switch into another kid's body because he reveals his true self to the other kid, which I'll get into in this review, instead of Andy. So yeah, in this one, he's not really like paying that much attention to Andy. I mean, he tries to kill him a couple of times in the movie, but yeah, that's like all he really does. Like he's not really that much focused on killing Andy. So yeah, it's kind of like a different strategy by Chucky in this movie. But yeah, so yeah, I've harped on about like all the stuff that's gone wrong with it or stuff that just didn't work for it. Yeah, long enough. I mean, this is almost I'm almost 6 minutes into this review, so yeah. But yeah, so yeah, just like really bad movie. I mean, yeah, I give this about I don't know 1.75 stars out of 4. So yeah, and yeah, Nostalgia Critic and Phaelus also said in their review for this movie, yeah, I mean, it's like this seems like a totally different movie from the other two because yeah, but a lot of this film just like focuses really more on Andy in military school, and it's not really like it seems just like it's totally like trying to take us away from the stuff going on with Chucky because I mean a lot of the film just really is showing Andy doing things at military school. So yeah, okay, so yeah, let me just get into this review. Alright, so the movie opens up inside of the trash good guy doll factory where the second film ended, and yeah, it was like just was like really like old and it was like trashed. Yeah, there were cobwebs all over the place, and yeah, they were cleaning it up because the good guy dolls were going to be re-released, and then yeah, it showed the remains of Chucky's destroyed body from the second movie, and yeah, then like a claw picked up the remains of Chucky's body, and then yeah, blood started to come out of it, and then yeah, it was as it was going over like this tub of liquid plastic or whatever it was, like blood dripped into it, and then yeah, it's like the blood, Chucky's blood going into the side that liquid plastic just like made him able to like recreate a new body for himself and resurrect himself. Yeah, which really doesn't really begin to make sense at all. I mean, it made sense in the second movie because I mean, yeah, they were actually like rebuilding the doll themselves. But yeah, here it's just like he reassembles himself and just like resurrects a new body for himself. I mean, when did he become like P1000? Yeah, and then yeah, as the credits rolled, like the liquid like was forming a new body for Chucky. Yeah. And then yeah, I mean yeah, and this movie like it takes us like 15 minutes to finally like see Chucky and actually see Andy, and then yeah, it takes us actually like 38 minutes to actually see Chucky and Andy like come face to face with each other. So yeah, I mean that just shows you how much like this movie really just like toys around and wastes a bunch of time. I mean yeah, we spent like the first 15 minutes with like the good guy doll board and the CEO of the company, Mr. Sullivan. And yeah, they were talking about like why they stopped making the dolls and the story with Andy. They really don't believe his story of Charles Lee Ray taking over a good guy doll's body, and then yeah, they ended up giving Mr. Sullivan their first new good guy doll, which turned out being Chucky. Yeah. And then inside Mr. Sullivan's, I don't know if it was his house or his office or whatever it was. Yeah, he was just like wasting a bunch of time in there, like, yeah, they just wasted so much time with this. Took like I said, it took like 15 minutes to finally show Chucky. I mean, yeah, it showed like Chucky was no longer in the good guy doll box, and yeah, he was just like toying around inside of the room. And yeah, and like he was moving a golf club. We didn't see him. We just saw the golf club moving, and yeah, Mr. Sullivan took it and like was like hitting golf balls with it. Yeah. And yeah, Chucky then like spilled a jar of marbles on the floor, and then Mr. Sullivan tripped on those. And then, yeah, there were two other good guy dolls, like, talking with each other, and then, yeah. Then Chucky eventually ended up, finally, like, we ended up seeing him for real, and then he took out Mr. Sullivan. And, like, he hit him with the golf club. And then, yeah. And he threw, like, a couple of darts at Mr. Sullivan as well, and then, yeah, he eventually ended up killing him, yeah. And then he, like, was looking, and he tried to find Andy using computer records, and he tried to find where Andy was, and then he saw that Andy was being transferred over to military school, and then he cut over to the military school where Andy was arriving on a bus, and he was talking to the commandant of the school, Colonel Cochran, and yeah, he was going through Andy's, like, records of foster homes and stuff, and then, yeah, he just told Andy to grow up and get over his fantasy of dolls, the live doll. Yeah, and then, yeah, Andy then got his hair cut by, like, I guess I should probably say, like, the barber of the school, Sergeant Botnick. And along, like, inside of the room with him was another kid named Ronald Tyler, who was also in the school, yeah, and he's like another main protagonist for this movie, I guess you could say, also, yeah. And yeah, Andy was then, like, saw on the TV in the room that, like, the Good Guy Doll cartoon was on. And yeah, he was just kind of, like, watching that, and you could, like, see his eyes with it, yeah. And then when he arrived in his room, his roommate, Harold Whitehurst, was, like, tied up in the closet, and yeah, he was telling him it was, like, the lieutenant colonel of the school, Shelton, who put him in there. And yeah, Whitehurst just told Andy, like, he said, "Welcome to hell." Yeah, and then, yeah, it was just showing, like, a bunch of stuff, like, Shelton, like, asking Andy who he was, and then, yeah, just telling him how to respond to him, yeah. And, yeah, as it was going on, Shelton was also talking to Whitehurst, and then another student at the school, who, Kristen De Silva, like, was sticking up for Whitehurst, and then, yeah, and he was, like, really impressed with her. And then, yeah, then Tyler, then, like, as he was going to the mail area to see if he had anything from his dad, he was told to bring a package up to Andy's room. And yeah, as he was bringing it, like, people kept bumping into him, and then he dropped the package, and then, yeah, it ripped open, and he saw it was a Good Guy doll all inside. So he took the package to the armory of all places, and he unwrapped the package, and yeah, he saw the Good Guy doll. And yeah, it turned out it was Chucky. Chucky then, like, jumped out of the box. And then, yeah, he was like, and then he realized that since he hasn't revealed his true self to Andy yet, and that Tyler was the first one, he did it too, that he could transfer his soul into his body. So yeah, he was, like, tricking Tyler into thinking that he was a nice guy and he just wanted to play. Yeah. And yeah, Chucky, like, told Tyler that they were playing a game of hide the soul, and yeah, Chucky tried to transfer soul into Tyler's body, but he started saying the voodoo chant, but Cochran, like, entered the room before Chucky could finish, and Chucky just went back to his doll form. Yeah, and then, yeah, Cochran told Tyler to just clean up the mess, and then he took Chucky away, and then, yeah, then he threw Chucky into a garbage truck. Like, and then, yeah, like, and as the garbage man was, like, dumping garbage from a dumpster into the truck, he was about to compact it, but yeah, Chucky was, like, screaming for help, and then, yeah, the garbage man, like, went into the like garbage portion of the truck, trying to look for who was him, trying to say that, and it was just a trap by Chucky in order to like compact the garbage guy. And then yeah, he ended up doing that, and then and yeah, Andy and all the kids, like the students at the school, all heard the garbage guy screaming, and they rushed to the truck and they saw like the blood with the arm out. And then later on that night, Whitehurst was like polishing Shelton's shoes. And then and then Whitehurst asked Andy if he got the package that came for him, and he said that he told Andy that Tyler was sent to bring a package up to his room, but Andy said he didn't get it. And as Andy was like unpacking his stuff, then like Chucky used a knife that Andy had laying around. It was just like a small pocket knife, and then he sliced Andy like in the back of one of his legs, and then then he finally like Andy saw Chucky was alive. Then Chucky told Andy that you can't keep a good guy down, or it was something like that, yeah. And at first Andy was like he was saying that he knew that Chucky couldn't kill him, and he needed to transfer his soul into Andy's body. But then Chucky told Andy that he was wrong and that he had some new fresh meat lined up. And yeah, Andy knew it was Tyler Chucky was talking about. And yeah, Chucky, he said he was gonna like transfer soul into Tyler's body. But then Andy threw one of Shelton's shoes at Chucky, and yeah, he was just banging Chucky on the floor. And then yeah, Shelton came in and he saw what Andy was doing, and he was laughing at him. And then he saw that his shoe was like used as a weapon. And then yeah, he basically said that Andy would now be his like servant. Yeah, and then he took Chucky away. Yeah, and then later on that night, Andy went into Shelton's room to try to find Chucky, and then yeah, he was searching all around the room for him, and he saw like on Shelton's wall he had like a board of knives and swords, and one was missing, so Andy knew Chucky took it. And yeah, then Chucky, as Andy was looking under Shelton's bed, that Chucky popped up from behind Andy, and then yeah, Andy jumped up onto Shelton's bed, and yeah, woke up Shelton. Yeah, he pinned Andy up against the wall. Yeah, and then he saw that Chucky was gone. And yeah, and he thought that Andy took it, but Andy said he didn't. So yeah, when Shelton decided to just force every single cadet to do exercises in the courtyard until he found out who did it. And yeah, Cochran just said that just told Sheldon to make sure that everybody would be back inside by 1 in the morning. And yeah, then Chucky like went out to try to find Tyler again, but then Tyler left a note in his bed saying that Chucky was it. Yeah. And then Andy tried to run off to try to warn Tyler about Chucky, but he got caught by another, or I guess I should say like lieutenant or something, and he was sent back over. And yeah, Tyler like lured Chucky to play hide and seek, and then yeah, he was hiding in Cochran's office, and then yeah, Kristen and another girl then like went off to try to like find out some more about Andy. Yeah, and they found like his file, and they saw like he was put in a bunch of foster homes. And then yeah, they found Tyler and Chucky in a closet. And then yeah, they were like screwing around with Chucky, like putting lipstick on his lips. Yeah, Tyler was trying to tell me that he doesn't like it and that his real name was Charles E. Ray. Yeah. And yeah, they heard like footsteps approaching, and so yeah, Kristen and the other girl took Tyler and they left. And right when they did, Chucky like got up and said, "This means war." So yeah, but he never like really went after them at all. But yeah. And then yeah, Cochran then like arrived in his office. This, and then yeah, he's like could see like Chucky was on the floor. Then he threw him into just the garbage can, but yeah, then like it fell over and Chucky was gone. And then Chucky then popped up again with the knife, but then, yeah, before he could actually kill Cochran, Cochran just, like, died of a heart attack. So, yeah, I really don't see what the point of that was. I mean, were they trying to, like, make it funny that he died of something else and not Chucky? Because, I mean, it wasn't funny. I mean, heart attacks are never funny. So I don't know what they were thinking with that. Yeah. And then, the next morning, like, Andy then, like, was trying to warn Tyler about Chucky some more, saying he was dangerous. There's, and, yeah, Tyler was denying that. He was just saying that Chucky wanted to play. And then, yeah, Andy just gave Tyler the knife, his small pocket knife, and, yeah, he just told him to keep that on him. And then, yeah, as Botnick was, like, after Botnick shaved Whitehurst's head, he then found Chucky in one of his cupboards, and yeah, he decided to cut Chucky's hair for some reason. Yeah, and he was like slowly approaching him with the razor, but then Chucky killed Botnick by just slitting his throat with like a razor blade. And then yeah, and Whitehurst came back because I guess he forgot something, and then he saw Botnick's dead body, and he also saw Chucky alive, and then he just ran off. And then yeah, as they were giving instructions for this war games for the school, well, Chucky was in the armory, and yeah, there were two teams for war games, red and blue, and Chucky switched the red teams, means like mark paint rounds, with live ammo. Oh, and this was just stupid. I mean, yeah, as like Nostalgia Critic and Phalis said in their review for it, I mean, it doesn't make sense because guns loaded with paint rounds are unable to fire real ammo. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that was just stupid. And yeah, the red and blue teams then just hiked up into the woods. And then yeah, later that night, Kristen and Andy were just like talking to each other, and then yeah, Christian showed Andy the view, and then they saw a fair in the distance. Yeah. Then eventually, Kristen and Andy ended up kissing. Yeah, and as Chucky was watching that, and then he said that he really had to get out of the body. Yeah. Then later on, Andy went to go find Tyler again to save him from Chucky. Like after he stole like the map from Shelton's tent. Yeah. And yeah, then all the blue team decided to just dispatch and begin their hunt to find the red team before the red team could get to them. Yeah, and yeah, Andy arrived at Tyler's tent, but yeah, Tyler's tent mate, I should say, said that he left to go with someone named Charles. So yeah, and yeah, it was obviously Chucky. Yeah, and then yeah, and once Tyler and Chucky were like off in the distance, and yeah, Chucky said they were gonna play hide the soul again. Tyler said he was tired of the game, and Chucky called Tyler a fucking drag. And Tyler told Chucky to watch his mouth, and then Chucky just yelled at him to stop calling him that. And he also had the big knife he had earlier that he snatched from Shelton's board. Yeah. Yeah, then, yeah, Tyler realized that Andy was right and Chucky was not good. Yeah. And as Chucky was telling Andy to get, well, as Chucky was telling Tyler to get in the position, Tyler pulled out the knife Andy gave him, and he refused, and he stabbed Chucky in the chest and ran off. Yeah. And Kristen was sent off, off away from the team to, try to find Andy herself or something. Yeah. And yeah, once Andy was found by the rest of the blue team, they thought that he was, turning on them. And as they were calling for Kristen got ambushed by Chucky. Yeah, then Tyler eventually he ran over to Andy trying to ask for help, and then yeah, And Chucky also like used Kristen's walkie-talkie to make contact with Andy and the blue team. And he basically told Andy to come to him. And yeah, at the same time, Chucky also called the red team to come to his, where he was also, because yeah, the blue team would also be there. And then yeah, and then Shelton told Andy and Tyler to take the lead or something, yeah. And then Chucky was holding Kristen hostage, and he also had a grenade with him. And then yeah, he told Tyler to come over and take his position for to take his soul, or else he would throw the grenade and blow everybody away. Yeah. And then the rest of the blue team then came after Tyler got in position and Chucky set Kristen free. And then they were firing their paint rounds over at Chucky, and Chucky got hit with one. Yeah. Then well, not Chris, and then Shelton saw that Chucky was then alive. And then the red team then eventually arrived. And then yeah, they fired their live ammo, which they can't do, at Shelton. And then yeah, it turned out being real ammo. And yeah, Shelton ended up being killed. And yeah, Chucky then like, yeah, then yeah, his plan went into effect. And yeah, red team continued to fire, and they eventually realized that it was like live ammo that they were firing. But then yeah, Tyler then escaped, and yeah, Chucky then threw the grenade. Aiden, yeah. And then yeah, Whitehurst then like jumped over the grenade, covering it up, and then it exploded, and yeah, that ended up killing Whitehurst. Yeah. Then Tyler then like ran off to the nearby fair. He tried to ask his, yeah, the security guard for help, and help. Well, but then yeah, as Andy and Kristen were like going after Tyler, trying to find him and help him, they eventually arrived at the tent where Tyler and the security guard were, and yeah, they saw that the security guard was killed, and so yeah, they knew Chucky did it. And yeah, Kristen like took the security guard's gun, for them to have like able to stop Chucky. Yeah, then yeah, Tyler Tyler was then like over with Chucky, and then yeah, Chucky told him to go inside a haunted house in order for him to like do the chant and to transfer his soul. But then yeah, as like cars for a ride were passing by, like Chucky and Tyler got split, and then yeah, Tyler tried to hide away from Chucky, but Chucky also had a gun on him to prevent Tyler from using the knife again. And then yeah, and Andy and Kristen eventually like arrived at the haunted house too, and they found Tyler trying to help him, but then yeah, Chucky fired his gun, and Kristen fired hers, and then Chucky fired again, and he ended up shooting Kristen in the leg. And so yeah, and then yeah, and Andy ended up like splinting Kristen's leg, and to like put pressure on it. And then yeah, Kristen gave Andy the gun and told him he could do it, and that he had to do it on his own. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler tried running away from Chucky again, but then his foot got caught in some kind of mud pit for another ride. Yeah, and yeah, there was a prop in one of the rides that carried a razor blade, and Chucky tried doing the chain again, but the blade ended up like cutting part of his face off, and yeah, that allowed Tyler to escape from Chucky there. And yeah, then Tyler like climbed up a something high to try to get away from Chucky. Like, but then he ended up getting knocked out by another prop. Yeah. And then, yeah, Chucky ended up like using a prop to like fly up to the top or something. Yeah. Yeah, get raised to the top, I should probably say. Yeah. And Chucky tried doing the chain again, but Andy fired with the gun. Yeah. And it shot off part of Chucky's arm. Yeah, Chucky here, he continued to do the chant, so yeah, I mean, nothing was stopping him here. Yeah, and then yeah, Andy like shot Chucky in the chest. And then yeah, it looked like that might have taken Chucky out. And yeah, Tyler then recovered, and then yeah, it looked like they stopped Chucky, but then Chucky like grabbed onto Andy, and then Tyler was like hanging from like over a big fan that was on the ground. And yeah, if he would have like fallen, he would have like got caught in that and been killed. So yeah, they so Andy was like trying to hold on to Tyler, but at the same time trying to get Chucky off of him. And yeah, Tyler handed Andy the knife, and then yeah, Andy ended up cutting Chucky's hand off and then throwing him off, and Chucky fell into that fan. And yeah, this was probably his most gory death of all the movies. Yeah, and so yeah, Chucky ended up dying right there. And yeah, then Kristen was loaded into an ambulance, and then yeah, Andy was taken off by the cops for questioning, and so yeah, and that's how the movie ended. Yeah, it just ended with like all the lights of the fair being turned off, and yeah, the ambulance and the police car driving off. So yeah, like I said, 1.75 stars out of 4. Yeah, this one was not good at all. This one was probably, yeah, this is like the worst one I've seen so far. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Seed is probably gonna end up being worse when I get to that. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to getting to that, but yeah, maybe with the next movie in this series, Bride of Chucky, yeah, yeah, that one like doesn't really seem to have as bad a reception. So yeah, that'll probably be an improvement of this one. So yeah, we'll see what happens when I get to that. So yeah, but yeah, that does it for my review of Child's Play 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and so yeah, stay tuned for more stuff coming throughout the month of October as I continue these videos. So yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.